Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make some mini chocolate donuts. So let's get started. Before we begin, today's video is sponsored by Wholesome Provision. They're located right here in the US and they specialize in making keto-friendly products. You've seen me use quite a few of their products on my channel now, from their Lupin Flour to their allulose sweetener blend to their chocolate chips and even their sprinkles. I really love this company and their products. So I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description of today's video so you guys can go on there and check out all their amazing stuff for yourself. Now let's jump into today's recipe. To begin, I have 2.5 tablespoons of some room temperature butter in my bowl here. And what we want to do is add in some sweetener to this and we're going to cream it together. Now, I will tell you that this is only a half version of this recipe and I will leave the full version in the link. I will leave the full version in the description of this video. I already have some of these made up, so I didn't want to do another full batch and have twice as many donuts. So I'm only going to do a half batch today. So just note that the measurements I'm going to give you right now are not going to match what's going to be in the description of this video because that will be the full batch version. So 2.5 tablespoons of butter here, and I have 1/4 cup of sweetener here. Now, again, sweetness is something you can decide for yourself. If you want more, add more. Less, do less. Let's go ahead and get this cream together. Okay, and now we want to go ahead and add in our other wet ingredients. So I have 1/2 cup of some non-dairy milk here. To this, I'm going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of some vanilla, and then I'm going to be adding in 1 egg. Now, in the full version recipe of this, I still only use 1 egg, but I didn't feel like splitting an egg in half, so I'm just sticking with 1 egg for this version. So that will not change in the written part of the recipe. It's still only going to be 1 egg. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our dry, and usually I would mix this together, but today I'm just going to dump it in. So I have 1/4 cup here of some wheat protein isolate 8000. I have 1/4 cup of some Lupin flour, and I have 1/4 cup of some cocoa powder. To this, I'm going to be adding a pinch of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of some baking powder, and 1/2 tablespoon of some vital wheat gluten. And now we're going to get all this nice and mixed together. And now that that's done, you're going to have a nice thick batter, and that's exactly what you want. So what we're going to do now is I have a nice large piping bag here in a cup, and I am going to put my batter into the piping bag. And right here, I have a nice little mini donut maker that I have all nice and hot and ready. Now, I haven't baked this batter in the oven, but I'm pretty certain it would bake up in there just fine if you wanted to do them baked in the oven. But I like the conveniency of having this little mini donut maker here. And so that's what I'm going to be using today. And now that I've got this into my piping bag, I'm probably only going to go up about an inch or so, roughly an inch. And I'm going to cut the tip off of this. And then I'm going to squeeze my dough well, my batter down into here. And as I said, I've already got this heating up. It's nice and hot and ready to go. I've sprayed it with a little cooking oil. So I'm just gonna go ahead and squeeze it out into the little shapes here. So that's why I like putting it into this piping bag, because it's so much easier to get it in there. And this is a really quick way to be able to make some cute little snack donuts for yourself or for your children. I just love this. Okay, and they don't have to be perfect. Just get it in there as best you can. Get it closed up as far as like circle wise as best you can. And then I just set it back in my cup here, and I'm gonna close this lid. Now, here's the thing. You're gonna wanna let this cook until you don't hear a lot of steam coming out, because if you check this too early, you're going to tear them apart. You're gonna rip them apart. I did that a few times when I first started using this thing until I finally got the hang of it. So you're gonna wanna let it cook until you don't hear a lot of steam, or the light indicator will go off and let you know that it should be okay to lift the lid. So I'll leave a link for this donut maker in the description of this video if it's still available, because I've had this for a while now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these made up, and then I'll come back and show you what we're gonna do next. So my little mini donuts are done, and they are so adorable. They're tiny, but they are soft, and they are just the perfect snack size. And that's why I love this little maker here. It is just so cool. And so if you have some donuts where you put too much in there and you get some little spillage like this, you can either keep it this way, or you can do what I like to do, because I like to have all my little donuts uniform in size. And I just cut it off. I just cut off that extra, not to mention the extra is probably gonna be kind of crispy because it's much thinner. So I just cut that little bit like that off, and there it is. Now, you can do a couple of things from here. You can leave them like this and do no type of icing. You could even powder them if you want to do a powdered chocolate donut. You can dip these in melted chocolate and have chocolate on chocolate. But what I'm going to do today is I am going to dip mine into some icing that I have prepared here. And this is just some powdered Swerve, and I've put a little vanilla, and I think I put about half a cup of the powdered Swerve, a little splash of vanilla, and then about half a tablespoon to 1 tablespoon of some non-dairy milk. And so you're gonna wanna mix that up to your thickness, how you like it, but I'm just gonna take it and put it in upside down, and then just pull it right on out. And that's it. Super cute. And then I put it back on my plate here, and I'm gonna let that sit and start to dry. And so I just go through all of them, and I do exactly that. Get them all nice and dunked and into my icing. And as I said, these are just so fun to eat. They're so tiny. They make the perfect little snack. Your kids will love these. Your grandkids will love these. I'm telling you, these are so fun and so delicious and so quick to make, especially if you have this little thing here. They're so quick. And there you have it, mini keto chocolate donuts. And I'm gonna leave a few of these with no icing on them, but the icing sets pretty quick if you're gonna do the icing version. Also, the chocolate will set pretty quickly if you do that version. And so this is it. And you get about 25 to 28 little mini donuts out of this. I generally like to store these in a bag and put them in the refrigerator or something like that. If I'm gonna try to leave these at room temperature. I usually put ascorbic acid in there. So I'm going to add that to the recipe because I usually do that when I make a large batch, and it allows for me to let them sit out outside of the refrigerator for a few days if I'm going to be eating them within that time frame. So that's going to be all for this video today. If you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you guys are new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and don't forget to ding that little bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.